Yes, this is a tribute to Tobulus. He's one of our fallen soldiers. May your soul rest in peace, my brother. Hey, but Parang will continue. Hi, boy. Hey, Sevi. Hey. I never knew Scala was a pastor. Prayed for me in the Luxi Lima. But like he forget to remember to pray for himself in the Masgra. Last year the man said he retire. Said he gonna walk with cats and stunner. But he say he gets so old and riven. Now they calling him number 7. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. What's up around for us as a tribute to Tobulus? Yes, man. Hey, them fellas, they give him a lot of number 7. Hey, number 7 means money. You hear me? Hi, boy. Hey. Like that transformation have a course. Black folks start to ride on Granan's boss. But the one what really surprised me is when the black folks swim in the sea. We tell them free ex last election. Them folks seeking for compensation. A fella in Granan's jump and say, them fall and them searching for AJ. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. What's up around for us as a tribute to Tobulus? Yes, man. Them for one compensation. Hey, hey. No more free egg. Ever you fall swim? Hey, boy. Trouble in the south. So said the boy like plenty drama. Said the PM love Rainbow Cola. He say he's to see how the man pose with a collar socks in Barbados. I say well do discuss that to me. Tell it to the press secretary. Said he feel you had a bad dream. Oh you want some nutmeg ice cream? Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. What's up around for us as a tribute to Tobulus? 31 scoop for you. And if you see Leke, tell him I'll give him half scoop. Darius, I'll give you 4 scoop. NDC has some young fat bowlers, so them fellas bowling some bouncers. Who ain't bouncing check, they bouncing van. Who ain't bouncing van, they bouncing man. And recently for carnival, even baby Jesus bounce a girl. They say he's a reckless driver, but the woman straight on she bumper. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss, so boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. What's up around for us as a tribute to Tobulus? Just be careful, you know, they say the pitch taking pace. The pitch taking pace. Shot pitch, shot pitch. Right now I'm docking. Watch it now. Hey. When you see this hottest coolie, tell him not me what take a lady. Tell him Smalax is not a Rasta, and I'm not living in Libera. But who cannot hear they go to feel Rasta take a woman in Goat Hill. But the one what real puzzle in me, both of them camping for NDC. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss, so boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. What's up around for us as a tribute to Tobulus? Yes, man. Tell my coolie friend, don't worry. Take it light and patient. You might get back. You might get back. Hey, hey. Rasta you tell boy, donkey you can. Oh, donkey you pumpkin. Crawford in Tivoli, he crying. Said he walk with excellent chicken. Don't know what to do or what to say. Boy make nice, boy and get paid. Boy he say what make him get harassed. Say bath with a bouquet of flowers. Make him real mama gizom. Brought it for his wife into reason. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. brother pay your bill. The man a responsibility too, you know. The man a children, the man a wife, the man have a life. Pay your bill, brother. Hey, you on Facebook making makiki. You doing flower delivery, eh? When I sang and boss in Calypso, they say it's karma what I miss so. But when Shanda boss in his me, said she sang well, they should pick she. Well, me BB can me road for she. Who are rank to liquid and NP. You fellas so damn wicked and bad. You see how they read double standard. Sing up a rank for us. Boss up a rank for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss up a rank for us. Sing up a rank for us. Boss up a rank for us. Boss up a rank for us, as a tribute to Douglas. Sing up a rank for us, boss up a rank for us. They say you boss in your boss, so boss up a rank for us. Sing up a rank for us, boss up a rank for us. Boss up a rank for us, as a tribute to Douglas.
This is not politics. Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear, I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Serious business. There is a time for everything, and for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason. So I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind, make sure everything is fine, while I take you down a poetic line. Trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you wanna say? Cause you sounded so good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign promises, we won't say at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Yellow, yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house gets yellow, bus gets yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell I ring. If we didn't know, we'd never know yellow would have treat us so. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, All your projects are stuck in a pipeline, but when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine. We are looking into it. Never mind. Only...
And a special good Grenadian Friday night to each and every one of you.
When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon.
I did promise that I would do a program tonight. I see some people asking, well, we didn't realize it's our program tonight. You need to listen carefully when we're speaking during the program, yeah?
And a few disgruntled, grim people with their vexed face.
So I did say that we would be having a program tonight, and next week, Friday night, is going to be a special program. Yeah, we're doing a program next week, Friday night as well.
In vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain.
But don't get too accustomed to the Friday night programs. Yeah, they take a lot out of me to do it on a Friday night. So don't expect too much of the Friday nights coming up. Nice.
1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but
we're going to stick to our Mondays to Thursdays, yeah?
So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like water in food.
So folks, remember to like and share. Yeah, I need to see you all like and share more than ever tonight because it's a Friday night. So many people who usually tune in may not be tuned in. So you've got to share, like, and share.
The way it is, we've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. So we've heard about your internal division, but some can't digest that one. Remember the man say he's an asset to the party? And will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they cloned. And however, I foresee a pretensive unity that will...
So saying a special good night to all of you joining us via the various mediums. I see you all coming in by the bits and pieces. I see you all coming in.
Grenada, I need a fool.
A special good night to each and every one of you.
Trick us with campaign promises. We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain.
It's the weekend before what is going to be a very interesting week.
But will restore Grenada?
Good night to you, Kathy Albert, and have a good night at church, yeah?
Up my mouth, and I ain't counting no chicken before the hatch.
Good night to you, Joyce.
For me crooked badge. After they get the vote, then I sing.
Well, my main computer in here where I usually see everything on has decided to sign me out of everything. No, nothing is wrong with the computer. It just decided to sign me out of everything today. So
promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is.
It's a good thing someone ensured that there is a backup in place.
Refrain. So yellow people say
some people just don't want a name call, eh?
Because after we say enough from Jonah, here comes still with more pressure and hunger. And from the mouth of Grenada, only one thing I utter: the Congress neglect us. The Congress failed us, and I could never understand the distribution of the wealth. So drink your bush home if you want good health. And for real, we appreciate the free barrel, but they only come in December. So what we are doing from January to November? Suck salt and drink Nawasa water. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain.
And we'll be taking your phone calls for the entire night. Yes, on a Friday night, we take your calls throughout the program. That's 440-7377 and 347-329-3101.
Or Chinese, you better wrap up 1,000.
You all would recognize that my voice is not at its normal timbre.
Or else funeral for NDC. Whatever, Grenada still belongs to we. Although
so I've got to be careful before at the end of the program I may not even be able to speak. Yes, so I have to, you see, I have to be careful.
May not be liked by you, but I know you will like this poem. For this poem is a problematic poem. Trick us with campaign promises. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. You'll not refrain. Play away country.
It's the month of December. Yeah, I go drop out 2 parang just now. Yeah, I realize. It's the month of December. Nice, yeah. Monday is going to be budget day.
We become a playway country with a playway economy. Only hungry belly and the
But on Wednesday, not Tuesday, but on Wednesday, you're going to rarely hear what's contained in the 2024 budget, yeah?
Rid the land of thieves and corruption.
So you're going to hear the budget speech. Now, what is going to be delivered on Monday is the budget speech not by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is not the Minister of Finance. It's going to be delivered by Mr. Dennis Cornwall. He is the Minister of Finance, and as such, he will be delivering the budget speech on Monday, right? And that'll be at 9 a.m. Those of you that want to listen. Yeah, it's important not just to let me listen and then tell you what's there. It's important for you to hear for yourself as well. You might hear something I don't hear, but it's important for us to listen to that. So Monday, it's going to be the budget presentation, and then you're going to hear them talking about, they put money here and they put money there and all that kind of thing. Nice, right? All nice and well to hear all of that. And you're going to see the people jumping on the radio on Tuesday morning. Wow, they've done this and they've done that and they've done the other and all sorts of things. And you're going to see them jumping on the radio on Wednesday morning, bright and early. Oh, our government, we'd like to thank the government. In only 18 months, they've been able to do this and that. And then on Wednesday morning, which is the morning that I'm interested in, on Wednesday morning, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, he will be delivering his response as leader of His Majesty's opposition to the budget presentation 2024. All right? Yes, 2024. I know we're in 2023, but it's the 2024 budget. So Dr. Mitchell will be delivering his response to the budget.
Drive BMW and Jaguar. No more Escudo and Corolla. So into exile you must go to let the yellow vibes flow.
And I can tell you his presentation I expect to be intensive and extensive. Yeah, intensive in that he will systematically take apart each of the main components of the budget presentation, right? And then extensive in that he'll be able to give an extensive explanation of each of those areas. So we look forward to his leader, His Majesty's opposition leader, who is Dr. the Honorable Keith Mitchell, on Wednesday from 9 a.m.
Good governance, accountability, and transparency.
Also, Wednesday is Kiami's birthday too, so all you know, we had to big up Kiami on Wednesday.
And every day is breadfruit, blubber, and fig.
I had to big up Kiami every day, but I begin up on Wednesday too.
It's to eat what we grow. Forget about malnutrition, cause the Rara ladies say we have the best health institution. We are a place.
So as I said, the phone lines are open, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. It has been an interesting week.
We become a playway country.
We're still trying to get an explanation from this administration as regards the Samoa agreement. Yeah, we're still trying. They've been ducking it. And in my belief, they've put out, I'm telling you straight, my personal belief, they have put out many of those things that you've seen out there in the last couple of days to direct our attention away from the Samoa agreement, because what they have done in other countries could cost them their political career. They have lied to the Grenadian people at the time that they were saying to you and to me and to all Grenadians. At the time they were saying to us that they would not sign until they look over. At the point in time that our Prime Minister was saying that how he has not even read that agreement. At the point in time you were seeing all of that Lasha pen passing in Brussels already. Yeah? In any other country, a head would roll. A head or heads would roll. Yeah? But it seems as though when it comes to the NDC administration here in Grenada, say anything, do anything, and you get away with it. Yeah, so they can lie to the Grenadian people. They can come out and lie to you. They can tell you that what you're seeing is an A when you know is a zeta there. Not even a B to say, well, it's close. A zeta there. Yeah? They can lie and they can escape. They can get away with it. Right? But we as Grenadians have a responsibility to keep them in check. So we cannot allow them to get away on this issue. You realize anytime an issue comes up that is causing serious political problems for the NDC. Miriam, good night to you. Good night, Miriam. I think Hey, Zayla, before Zayla go and say, I don't say good night. Good night, Zayla. Good night, Zoe. Good night, Exalia. Good night. What's the other two children? Let me get the other two children named there before I forget. Neela and Namara. Right. Good night to all of you. Deshaun. Good night to the children. Yeah, they could stay up a little later tonight. You understand? Brother Watts, good night to you. Marilyn Panchu, Agnes Henry, Sandra. Good night to all of you. Nice. Yeah. What I'm saying is that every time our government finds themselves in a situation where they're receiving a serious pounding politically and out there in the streets, they find something. And we have to understand the strategy that they utilize. They find something to distract us. So, last week at the press conference, we had the Prime Minister saying, well, we're not signing, and we had to look at and all of that. We heard the Prime Minister last week. While the Prime Minister was lying to the Grenadian people saying that, while the Minister of Foreign Affairs was lying to the Grenadian people saying that, we had a situation where the ambassador had already signed that document. The ambassador could not sign that document without receiving a directive from government here in Grenada. And who is the head of government? No, the Governor General is the head of state, not the Governor General. The head of government here in Grenada is the Prime Minister. So the buck stops there. The ambassador had to receive instructions from his permanent secretary. His permanent secretary had to receive instructions from the minister. And the minister had to receive instructions from cabinet. And within cabinet, the chairperson of cabinet is the Prime Minister. So the ambassador cannot and could never act on his own. If that is what is happening now, if Grenada has ambassadors out there signing agreements willy-nilly left and right on our behalf without getting the proper clearance, this is not no minor mishap as somebody tried foolishly to say earlier this week. This is not a minor mishap. This is serious business. This involves millions of dollars. This involves your criminal code. This involves your constitution. This involves your rights as a Grenadian. Yeah? No matter your political leaning, no matter your sexual orientation, because it seems as though that's a discussion we're going to have. No matter your religious leaning, it's a discussion that we definitely, due to this, will have to have. Has the government come back to you? And you see, there's a pattern. The government never comes back and says sorry. They never come back to you and say, I've made a mistake, I'm sorry. And it says a lot about the individuals who refuse to do that they don't do that. Yeah? It says a lot about them. Now, if you have done something wrong and you go to the people who you have wronged and you say, I have done wrong, I apologize, and I'm willing to make amends, that is a big man to do something like that. Or a big woman to do something like that. That is how adults, people with morals, operate. That you do something wrong and you admit, hey, I've done something wrong. Even if you're not fully responsible, but as the person involved, you take responsibility. So even if it was the minister mess up and not the prime minister, but the prime minister made the statement, still be man enough to come and say, I apologize. But we do expect that from them. Because we know we're still waiting on a cabinet conclusion 1 year now. We're waiting, and it seems as though we have a lot of years to wait. And we may never see said cabinet conclusion. You know why? Because said cabinet conclusion does not exist. So you will never see it because it doesn't exist. But yet still, you, the Grenadian people, were told that. You were told that. But certain people are not adult enough to be able to apologize to you and said, well, here's what. I was misled or I made a mistake and I apologize. I apologize to you, the Grenadian people. I apologize to the political leader and the former cabinet, of the New National Party, I apologize to them all. They won't do that kind of thing because they feel they're too big. So a man could go and just start to build a bus shed on people's property without the approval of the physical planning unit. The people could tell them about it. And what do they do when the people tell them about it? They tell the people, they tell the contractors, go ahead, man, don't study them. Yeah, because you own people property now because you're a government minister now, and you think that that gives you ownership of people's property. No. So instead of doing what you should have done in the earlies, which was contact the individuals and speak to them, you've decided now that you're going to go through the legal route and you're going to acquire the property, which is what should have been done from the beginning. That they should have gone through because, folks, according to the Constitution of Grenada, government could acquire any property. Your property that you own right now, if government needs that property, they say they have to do a highway going through there, or they have to do a seaport because you're close to the sea, or they're building an airport and they need that property. The government of Grenada, any government of Grenada, can acquire that property for the national good. Not the political good of one individual. Not because you're living there and you want a bus stop there for when you look a friend and them drop. They have a short walk to reach by you. And you don't want them get wet in the rain when they come out by you. Not because of that. It must be for the national good. So it must be to the benefit of the Grenadian people on a whole. That could be challenged in court. They're talking about physical planning. Didn't say to put fence. Forget the fence. What was there in the first place that the fence had to go? Physical planning didn't say to put any fence there, and they didn't get permission from physical planning to put fence. Maybe they didn't get permission from physical planning to put a fence, but did you get permission from physical planning to put the bus stop there by again? It's the same thing, doubling down on the wrongdoing. Instead of standing up as a man would do and say, hey, I've done this, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Go and sit with the individuals and say, hey, we have a misunderstanding here. As big men, let's work it out. But you see the problem, they're not big men, so they can't work it out with other big men because they're not big men. So all they had to do was go sit with the individual that owns the land and say, hey, I'm sorry, we made a mistake, we got off on the wrong foot. The reason we'd like to do this is because we believe that it will be of benefit to X amount of households. How many households are going to benefit from that? That you're going to go through the courts and so on. How many households? I don't know. So maybe it's a lot. Maybe it's none. I don't know. But how many people actually live in that area? How many people work in that area and therefore would utilize said facility that you had to go through the route that you're going through now to construct it? There are many times in government you may look at a road and you may say, well, this road needs to be done. But when you check, it has nobody living inside there, apart probably one house, two houses, and then no farming is taking place inside there, anything. So you going to do that road? Yes. But do you prioritize that road over another road where you have 60 people living and 4 households or 5 households plus a shop, and farmers utilize that road to get to their lands? Do you say we are going to fix the road where there are 2 houses with not even 8 people living? Yes, you have to do a road, you have to fix the road and so for them. But are you going to prioritize and do that road first before you do the road for the area where 60 people live in? Or with 200 or 300 people living inside there? You might have 14 houses, 15 houses inside there. So going through all of this and saying to build a bus stop, how many people is that bus stop going to benefit? Yeah? How many? How many people out there is it going to benefit? Were there other projects that should have taken priority within there? Is it just by chance that the bus stop happens to be close to the Nice new road that the MP built by their own place, and so that's what I hear. And as I say, I don't know the bus stop is. I hearing that. What's the situation behind that, and why can't they just simply go to the individual who has taken this action and say to them, here's what, I'm sorry. We know that is a serious statement to make. And some people are afraid to make that statement. But simply go and say to the people, hey, I understand I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Someone is asking you, why not Lamode Junction? Yeah? Why not another area? Why that particular area for that bus stop? Couldn't the funds have been used to do a bus stop in an area with a higher concentration of people? Yeah? And the nonsense argument about NNP didn't do it, NNP couldn't do everything. NNP do what they could have done at the point in time that they could have done it. In the last term, you have to basically chop out nearly 3 years due to COVID. Well, 2.5. Due to COVID. 2020, 2021, and the half of 2022, forget them time day. So half of NNP last term, you had to spend dealing with COVID. Yeah? So to use the argument, NNP this and NNP that and all that kind of thing. Nonsense. That's a dunce argument for dunce people to put forward. People who are intellectually incapable of having a proper discussion with other people. Dunce argument. Nearly as dunce. You remember on this program, we said it earlier this year. We said one of the dunces statement that could be made in an argument is the one that the NDCites were using at the time. And is that you realize they stopped using it? Yeah, because we exposed it for the nonsense that it is. It shows a lack of intellectual capacity to carry out a proper discussion. As such, the individual tries to end the conversation with a nonsensical statement because they can't carry forward past the point that they are at in that conversation. So they come with, and is that? All of a sudden that talk dead. All of a sudden that talk gone because we told you that that was what was happening there. They're incapable of carrying on a conversation any further. And I see folks asking about salary increase and that kind of thing. Here's what. I am not going to get into it. And you know why? I'm not going to get into the discussion on that. I'm not going to get into the discussion on that because what you have seen put out thus far is the tip of the iceberg. Let me tell you that again. What you've seen thus far being put out there is the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more that you're going to hear on Wednesday. No, not on Monday. On Wednesday, when Dr. Mitchell is speaking. So whether you're in St. Patrick and you can come on down for Dr. Mitchell's response, organize all your bus and thing and come down. Whether you're in St. John or St. Mark or St. Andrew or St. David, or you're in St. George, you're in Carriacou and Petit Martinique and you could be in Grenada for the day, come on down. Yeah? And hear the response to Budget 2024 and understand what it is, because it songs nice, you know. A lot of things song nice. Yeah? Let me use an example here. When I was younger, I'm still young. When I was younger and in Trinidad, you had some people used to paint the house nice, oil paint. So you know oil paint does give you a kind of shine. They painted the house nice in the area where you used to live. So especially around now, Christmas time, when you pass there, all the houses, you're smelling the paint and the houses look nice and neat and so on. But if you take a coquille flex and you press against the house, it's going straight through. You know why? Termite eat out all the lumber. But the oil paint making it look like it's brand new and nothing is wrong, everything okay. But termite eat out all of that. So it looks good from the outside. But the reality is that it is destroyed. And that is the NDC for you. They like to highlight things and they like to make things look nice. So they would come at you because they realize the lack of interest by the average Grenadian in relation to anything that they're doing. No, you saw it, I saw it, lack of interest. So they come out with, Oh, who is going to announce in the budget X? Who is going to announce in the budget Y? Who is going to announce? So people, wow, all that in the budget? Yes, boy, are going down and hear what they have to say. But you know what? They already told you the major things that are coming out from the budget. You know, there's nothing really more there for them to tell you. Yeah? And anything that they've done is because people like us on this program have called on them to do it. And I've warned them that they have to do it. So they go in and do it. Yeah? But again, being the little boys and little girls that they are not man or woman enough to even say thanks. In the same way that they will not apologize. So Deacon and Miss Mitchell, the Prime Minister of Grenada, will not apologize for lying to you all about a cabinet conclusion. He just hopes that people like myself and others stop talking about it. So they plot and they plan how they would attack people like me. How they would shut up people like me and others. You feel they're planning and they're just strategizing. We have to get rid of he, we have to shut he up. I know. Because there are people amongst them who don't like what they're planning. And are telling them, don't go down that road. But they find the fire hot. Licks on the back. So they decide to push forward. Go ahead. Just remember, mutually assured destruction. Yeah? Mutually assured destruction. Just remember that terminology. Yeah? So they would not come and apologize. They will not come to you and say, what the Prime Minister said in St. Lucia was wrong. Instead of him coming out as a big man and saying, well, maybe I misspoke. What I said was taken out of context, but since it is taken out of context, it means that I was not clear and lucid in what I was saying, so I apologize. Instead of apologizing, no, he doubled down on it and he ain't taking it back. They calling him all kind of names I would not call on this program. I see people like Michael Flood and so a former senator there saying some kind of things. I ain't going down that road. I ain't repeating them things. But they will not apologize for anything. So if it's Grenadians, they wouldn't apologize to for lying to us about, oh, they're going to end contract work by the lash of a pen as soon as they get in office. If it is Grenadians, they would lie to by saying that, oh, Grenadians, I'm telling Grenadians that when it came to the 150 under the seed program, that it was sunset, that it had to end in December, when they had their own minister saying that it's continuing. If they could lie to Grenadians like that, if they can lie to Grenadians and say that we're not signing an agreement that they already signed, if they can lie to Grenadians like that and not apologize, my St. Lucian brothers and sisters, Amway, you feel they're going to apologize to all you? We Grenadians, we seeing them every day, they passing. Every day we seeing them. Lap and cut all over the place. We seeing them. Yeah? They like Kaka J in a man eye early in the morning when he had the cold. We seeing them. But yet still they will not apologize to us Grenadians. All you really feel they'll come and apologize to all you? You all really think that they're going to apologize to the St. Lucian people for the behavior and the words of the Prime Minister, racist in nature, yeah, racist and xenophobic in nature. Do you think that he's going to apologize to you all? They're not going to do that. Don't expect it. It's not going to come. Yeah? Because we have a group of people who lie. You're driving. You bonk somebody's child. My God. You bonk somebody's child instead of you trying to deal with the situation in a reasonable, sensible, and humanistic manner. Like a human being. That is not a dog that you bonks. That is a person, child that you bonks. That is a human being. Instead of dealing with it in that manner and allowing the insurance to do what the insurance had to do. You're paying insurance for, let the insurance do what the insurance had to do. Instead of dealing with that in that manner, instead of saying, okay, even if I don't think I'm wrong, somebody has been injured here, there is an effect. I don't even know if the child is back out to school yet. I don't know. But at least to say, hey, let me take some serious responsibility here and let me work along with them. Instead of doing that, the mother had to be cussing. All kind of things have to be happening left, right, and center. Because you're just not a man enough to say, well, even if I don't think I'm wrong, the perception of me being wrong needs to be corrected. So I need to speak with the parent and I need to address this issue directly. So even if not financial, at least on a moral level, on a social level, I have addressed the issue at hand. But no, them is MP, the big and the bad, so they could do what they want. MPs walking into police station, MPs and senior members of the NDC, executive members as well. When relatives or friends are picked up, going to police stations and doing things that they know they should not be doing, abuse of power, going into the police stations about who all you don't know who all you arrest. So certain people feel now they can do certain things, and when the police detain them, all they have to do is get a message out or make a call. An MP so and so, this one so and so coming to police station and making trouble. Why? Because you're dealing with people with an infantile manner of behavior. You're not dealing with people. Listen, I have had situations. When I was in the Senate many years ago, I had situations where I interacted with police officers, and police officers didn't even realize it was me. And I was a member of government, I was a member of the Senate, I was a parliamentary secretary, and I interacted with the police, and the police didn't even know it's me they're interacting with. I remember once going to an activity and we had to park. And the police officer who was there said, this area is only for parliamentarians to park. Move your vehicle. So that's how the police officer spoke to me. Can't park here. Move. Take that vehicle and put it down. So all of that the man said, you know. I didn't say, officer, I'm so and so. I didn't cuss the officer. Didn't say anything. The guy who was driving at the time, I just say, boss, let me just put the vehicle so. No problem. I said, thank you, officer. And we just put the vehicle down so. When we came back, the officer came and he apologized. I said, no. I said, you did not know who I was. So, I mean, I'm sorry. And I know you're sorry, but I mean, we're good friend right now. And next time, I was going into the Prime Minister's office. And there, if you know the ministerial complexes, usually you check with a police officer on the floor below, on floor number 5, before you go up to the 6th floor. And there was a police officer stationed at the 5th floor. So I was passing to go up to the Prime Minister's office because going to see the Prime Minister at the time. Yes, I was a government minister at the point in time. The police officer stops me. And he says, sir, you can't just pass here like that. You need to sign and put down your name and show some ID. Just so the officer, you know, firmly. Because officers are supposed to speak to you firmly. Yeah? You can't do that, sir. You can't just walk up there, so. You have to stop here and sign. So, I stop. I signed my name. And I told him my ID is in my office downstairs. And when he looked at the name, then he realized who I am and he apologized. Me good partner right now. Did I cuss and carry on? As you're hearing some of these MPs right now, when they see police officers and police officers stop them, they fling in their hand at them. We stop me in traffic stop for, they fling in their hand at them. That's the kind of behavior. Police officers doing their job. So what are supposed to do? Be upset? Are supposed to go and say, no, they're securing me, they're securing the Prime Minister, they're securing everybody. So if the officer doesn't, suppose was somebody that look as me and he think is me, the man right, the officer right. I tell him a good partner right now. simply because I did not take the arrogant approach. And no police officer could say that I've taken an arrogant approach with them and they came to me and I cussed them. And so because I feel I was a minister at the point in time, I was in the Senate at the point in time, that I cussed them and I get on and that kind of thing. But look at the behavior of the people in office right now. I was part of a government that win every seat. It had no opposition. Opposition party was decimated. Every single seat. They had 11. We come and take the 11 and keep the 4 that we had. We win everything. And I was part of that government. If I had to be arrogant, that was the time to be arrogant, isn't it? If you wanted to just cuss people and get on, and so that was the time to do it. Yeah? But look at the difference. Look at the individuals that you're dealing with right now. So you could bonk somebody's child, that's okay. I ain't taking no responsibility. You could put up a bus stop on people's property. The people calling you for nearly 7 weeks, trying to find you, phoning you, no response. And they happen to be a constituent. And if a constituent at that level, trying to find you for 7 weeks and can't find you, I'm sorry for the other people in the constituency who may not even have the means that that individual have. Sometimes they may not have the ability to call and try and find you in the way that that person was able to do it. They might have to walk to come down to our office to look for you. And if that individual could not find you, then I could imagine for the other people in the constituency. Right now, you remember there's a movie, The Invisible Man? Like The Invisible Man. They can't find you. Yeah? Instead of saying sorry, these people double down on what it is they have done. They double down. This sort of behavior has to stop. The arrogance is like we in charge. We could do what we want. We could say what we want. Yeah? You go, you have a meeting in St. John. All of a sudden, we know that was frightened already. But the MP in St. John seems like they get even more afraid. Because they post something about unbothered when the haters. What haters? What haters? You're a government minister, lady. You're a government minister. And people will be critical. You're an MP. People will be critical. So because people are critical, because they're saying that you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, or you're not doing things that you should be doing, because they are saying that they're haters, they don't want to see good for the constituency, they don't want to see good for the country, they don't want to see good for their family, forget you. They don't have a responsibility to want to see good for you. They have a responsibility to want to see good for the country. They have a responsibility to want to see good for the community, the constituency, the country. You last down in the panty and things because you take yourself and offer yourself. So instead of trying to listen to the people and saying, okay, this is what they're really talking about. Maybe I need to check myself on that. Maybe I need to fix that and so on. Instead of all of that, the arrogance. Oh, this is for the haters. Because you have one meeting in St. John and you realize the energy of the people and the people come out. Because of that now, start to get frightened. Other MPs have to try and publicly, let me support. Yeah, That is sort of thing that we see taking place in Grenada at this point in time. The no apology government, they're apologizing. They're apologizing. Yeah? They come, they say they're starting the WASH program. Anybody hear what is happening with the National Susu? Have any of you been hearing anything more since the first time when they come with the National Susu? And we pull all the information on this program right here. When we pull the information and we show that you can have no such thing as a National Susu, that there has to be checks and balances according to the financial regulations for the state of Grenada. You can't just go in a meeting as government. You could do it as a political party. But as government, you can't go there and say, we start a National Susu, everybody give us some money. And you say, this is the amount of money. Was the money brought into the accountant general? was an account set up specifically for that amount of money. These are financial rules. These are rules, the law for the state of Grenada. You ask about it, they go on silent. They have nothing to say. They wouldn't apologize, but they also would not respond to your questions because they are immature. So they give this sort of imbecilic responses when you ask intelligent questions of them. So instead of that, stay in Parliament and hush. Well, little hush there. And then you have a speaker that look like he wires disconnected because you can't hear him dealing with them when they're doing this stupidness. That speaker, I don't know what brand it is. It can't be Sony. I know what brand speaker that is, but that speaker right now, that speaker may be some of them cheap Chinese brands or something, no name kind of thing. And one at the left, one is walking or something. That speaker gone through. Yeah, that speaker is the worst speaker. But yet still, you have these people behaving imbecilic. Imbecilic. There's no other word to describe them, like imbeciles. They are behaving in the House of Parliament. No apology. They wouldn't even say, well, look, the honorable member was speaking, and I think what I've done is wrong. So I apologize. Yeah, let's move past that. Have you heard one of them, even one, apologize for any of the nonsense they've been doing? Have you heard them? Instead, what they try to do is to shave off the negative aspects of it and place it onto the New National Party. So when they took the 150 from the most vulnerable amongst us, what did they do? They blamed the New National Party. They didn't take the blame. They put the blame on the New National Party. But don't worry. Wednesday we go hear more about that. I ain't have nothing to say again on that until Wednesday night. Wednesday we're going to hear more than that. Right. When it comes to the taking back of the houses in Carriacou, because up to this day you have people who emotionally distressed because they had been approved for a house. They were called to a ceremony, not by the NNP. They were called to a ceremony by the government of Grenada. It was not an NNP function. It was a function of the government of Grenada. And a certain person who is in Parliament at this point in time and is going to be talking next week needs to explain to the Grenadian people what they were doing there when those houses were given out. And now they have become very silent on the issue because it took place within their ministry. The houses were given out in their presence. But they have not spoken on behalf of the people of Carriacou and the Petit Martinique who were given those houses and who wickedly it was taken back from. Apparently, their mute button on. So they have nothing to say in relation to that. Because they have found themselves within the confines, folded together with others of like mind. So therefore, when these things happen, they just say, Grenadians go talk about that for 3 days and they're done. Because all who is Christian and who is pastor and who is big Christian and who is this and who is that within the confines of the NDC, none of them coming out and talk against the lie. First of all, there's the lie. And let's deal with the Samoa Agreement in the correct way. First of all, there's the lie. Because you were lied to. The foreign minister said it was not signed. You were lied to. So that's the first aspect of it. And after being lied to, what was signed? And some of them call themselves big Christian, but they have nothing to say for the NNP. You would hear them. We have a call online. Good night. Hello? Hello? Hello, good night. Okay, seems as that caller may have cold feet. Yeah. Wow. So let me not announce that yet. Get some confirmation on that one. We have a caller online. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live. Go right
Good
ahead.
night. That is how they Tatya in us. Real Tatya. Hello, good night.
No, we're hearing you. Speak to me on the phone line, my dear. Forget the radio in the background. Yeah, talk to me on the
I tell
phone
you,
line.
that is how they Tatya in us. Real Tatya. These people and them, yeah, Tatya different ways, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to torture people.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally, financially. There's a lot of different ways. And even within those, there are subsections, different ways you can do it. All right, caller. All right, thank you. Yes, indeed. 4407377. Just remember, when you call, speak to us on the phone line. Don't wait for the response on the computer or the tablet or the radio in the background, because we're speaking to you on the phone line, so there'll be a delay and we won't be able to have a conversation if that is the case. All right, love you all. I know some of you might be the first time that you're calling, so yeah, just remember that. And I'm waiting because it seems as though things might change in relation to the lineup for next week. So I'm waiting to hear. Let's see, and by Monday we should be able to say exactly. For now, it seems as though it's Wednesday, because I know of people who have taken the day off on Wednesday to go out and hear the leader of His Majesty's opposition speak, the one or two that working. And others have put off other important engagements because they want to hear not what is being said on Monday. They're interested in hearing what Dr. Mitchell has to say, but there's a possibility, let me say that here, there's a possibility it may change from Wednesday to Thursday. I've just gotten that information that the date of his response may change from Wednesday to Thursday. So we'll get confirmation by Monday. So by Monday night's program, we'll be able to say to you exactly what they, maybe one of them had to travel again, so that maybe we can have the thing on the day that they're supposed to have it. Yeah, somebody maybe had to travel again. You know, that is what has happened with them. Yeah, we have a caller on the line. Let me lock in the WhatsApp call. And yes, we do have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Good night. How are you?
I'm quite fine. You're live, caller. Go ahead.
Yes. Shalon, I just want to say something. This group of boy and girl that run in our country, I think it's time for all of them to step down, especially the government, the Prime Minister. I don't even want to call him Prime Minister. They're so disrespectful. They need to get out. I find it's time.
Mm-hmm.
It is high time. They're not doing anything good for us. They just need to just get out. Bye.
All right, thank you so very much, caller. And I wish it were that easy, but you've heard of moves that these individuals are making. They're making sure that they feather their nest. So, as again, I ain't saying none. I'll wait. If I had to do program next week, Saturday, I'm doing it too, you know. Talk with me, you know. I'll do a program in the day and all. Yeah, don't worry. Yes, because we have to get into the nitty-gritty of this budget. There's a lot inside there. So I'm waiting to hear what is presented on Monday, because there are attempts at obfuscation here. In other words, there are attempts at trying to hide things and twist things. Yeah? So I'm really interested in hearing what they have to say, and I've been itching weeks now to hear what they have to say. So let's hear what this caller has to say. Hello, good night.
Shalom, good night.
Good night to you, my dear.
And how are you doing?
Ade, I wonder, you know, I'm reaching home.
You're going to reach home, man. God is good. You're going to reach home. Shalom, clarify that for me. And I guess as much there are other people who might be wondering just the same.
Mm-hmm.
As it relates to the budget,
Mm-hmm.
what I do know is that everybody does be in anticipation, wondering what would be in the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Some people speculate that there might be an increase in taxes, that they might do this and they might do that, and they may not do this and they may not do that. from the time I know myself listening to the budget, I cannot recall hearing this is what would be in the budget. But we are hearing now that salaries would be increased and other things that would be in the budget. I'm kind of wondering what's going on. Because as I said, what I do know, the budget was something like everybody wondering, everybody speculating, but now we're hearing facts. It is alleged that these things are in the budget. So maybe you could clarify that for me, please.
Okay, my
Because
dear.
to me, my recollection, this is the first time I'm hearing about that.
My dear, let me ask you a question.
When people know exactly what will be in the budget.
Hold on. I'll deal with that in a little while for you. Because I was coming to that too, but I'm glad that you've raised it. You know it's a chun chun? You know you remember. I mean, if you're LA enough, you should remember it's a chun chun. Okay, maybe I'm saying it wrong because different parts of the country had different names. But you know, back in the days in the 1970s, when you're having a political meeting in an area, some guys used to get a bucket and throw all kind of thing inside it and leave the bucket covered down for a couple of days before the meeting. And when the meeting start up, chemical warfare, they throw down the bucket and stink up the place.
I know, well, you call it a chun chun. I know they used to put it in a bottle.
But they have a name for it.
Bottle and then it should be, we call it jakayan.
You all used to call it jakayan. I know some areas call it chun chun. There are different names for it.
When you get a jakayan, that area staying clear for days.
Right. So you know what's happening now? Somebody mixing up a chun chun with the Grenadian economy, knowing full well that in one term they're gone. And they know when that chun chun bus, when that chun chun or that jakayan bus, they know.
They actually come and stink of the Grenadian people. Joke the wicked.
It's a chun chun. Well, as I say, other people have different names for it. I know when I speak with my grandmother, that's what she used to call it.
Tell them hold the chun chun where they know they have to hold it, eh?
All right, my dear. Thank you.
My
my historian partner may have the proper name for countryside for that one. Historian, give me a call. I know you might have a proper name for that one. That is when they take pea and dead animal and cabbage and all sort of thing and they put it in a bucket and they leave that day settling. They cover that down and they open that when you have a political meeting, they open chemical warfare. Nobody can stay. But there's a name for it. That's what they're doing with the Grenadian economy right now, you know. Yeah, so you see the bucket there and it looks all innocent and so it's a bucket. Yeah, it look innocent and so on. But when you see that bucket open, they might bring it by you, you know, and they might say, oh, we give you a bucket here, you could put water and thing in it. Yeah, when you open that bucket, there's a problem, right? And the caller is absolutely right. Over the years, various aspects of the budget speech, the budget presentation, and actually what's included in the budget has been embargoed by governments. So you would hear budget is coming up and you would hear there are measures. They would speak in broad terms. And I'm not just speaking about the NNP here. The former NDC government used to do it too. They would speak in broad terms and they would say, well, we have poverty alleviation measures that would be coming. We've got something in there, for instance, for the police officers or the nurses, and we are going to be addressing issue A or issue B or so on. So they speak in generalities of what is coming. Because of the way that they have been putting forward information before the budget on Monday, in my opinion, tells me that they do not have a lot of faith in the presenter of the budget. That's what it tells me. It tells me that they do not have a lot of faith in Mr. Dennis Cornwall in his presentation of the budget. And as such, they find it necessary to leak various aspects of the budget beforehand so that even when he touches it, they would have him on record touching it but that information is already out there. You understand where I'm coming from? Yeah? So it tells me that they do not have faith in the presenter. They do not have faith in the presenter. Somebody else is messaging me. They say Jackayan. They call it as well. Yeah. I maybe my area, but they used to call it chun chun. Some of them old people used to call it that. Yes, set egg and all kind of thing they used to put in that. When they throw that open, everybody, all man, woman, dog and all running, everything gone. Right? So I'm saying, hey, Ingrid, good night to you. What I'm saying is that because of the way that they have approached this budget, tells me that they have no faith in the individual who has the responsibility to present the budget. And as such, they found it necessary to build up to it. Yeah? To build up to the budget. Right? And they're telling you basically you've never heard that before. You may hear that one measure, okay, we are addressing that in the budget. You may not hear the details, but here you're hearing details of how they're going to deal with certain things. And it is not the way things are usually done. Of course, they say they're doing things differently, but they're doing it differently because they have various failings. And they know when it comes to the presentation itself, the individual who has to present, they do not have faith in that individual to present. Hence the reason they have been leaking various aspects of it before. They've also strategically leaked that information to push the entire issue of the signing of the Samoa Agreement on the background. And I'm interested, I want to hear how many of the pastors going to speak about that in their churches this weekend, and who have spoken about it during the weekly services. I want to hear, because many of them were very noisy, were very vociferous when the issue of the Constitution of Grenada and the changes being made to the Constitution came up. When the NNP administration was falsely accused of attempting to bring in what is now being brought in through the Samoa Agreement. The NNP was being falsely accused. And the key ringleader was the same person who is the legal advisor to government now, the Attorney General. And if this government telling me that they signed that agreement without the Attorney General going through that agreement, then brothers and sisters, we in more problems than we thought. They refuse to apologize. In fact, they're hoping, and I'll tell you how they're thinking, they're hoping that's how Christmas is going to come. So budget, they're going to throw out these 2 or 3 things here. We do this and we do that and we do the other and so on. So they're going to throw those things out. And then after they throw those things out, they feel Grenadians going to jump on that. Yeah, okay, yeah boy, oh God, government doing thing. Forget everything else you hear. The government doing thing, the government doing thing. And when that happens, that the issue of the Samoa Agreement going to disappear. That we are going to forget that a company that we have been hearing funded their election campaign. The rumor that we're hearing out on the streets since before the election of 2022, the 23rd of June 2023. What we have been hearing on the streets was that the same company that they have given $22 million US to had funded the NDC election campaign. But they are hoping that we forget that issue because they believe that Grenadians have a 3-day memory. I'm telling you what they for themselves are saying. They say all you have a 3-day memory. That after 3 days, Grenadians forget that issue and they move on to the next one. So they are saying, okay, they ain't even studying the crime again. How many people been killed? Whether the case is solved, it's not solved, it's people, family that dead and buried. Yeah? And it's a problem. But as far as they're concerned, when one get killed, no man forget that. Yeah? When one get killed, no, forget that. These are the things taking place in your country that they believe they will get you to accept. Because if we accept what they have just done with the Samoa Agreement, let me warn Grenadians, both at home and abroad, let me warn Grenadians that if we accept what we already should not accept all the lies that they have done and the behavior that has gone through before. None of the... You have ever seen the Prime Minister apologize? You've ever seen any one of his ministers apologize? The closest thing I've seen to apologize is Miss Naomi Jeremiah, the PS in the Ministry of Health, come and apologize for what has been taking place in the Ministry of Health. And that is an acknowledgement of what has been taking place. But she's not a member of the NDC as far as I know. She's not an executive member. She's not a card-carrying member as far as I know. She's not an MP as far as I know. You had the minister sit down right there and the PS taking the fire, apologizing. But then again, she's a PS. She had to do what they tell her to do. So she apologized. Whereas it should be coming from the minister along with his resignation. Let me say that again. The apology should have been coming from Gayton. Yes, it should have been coming from Gayton along with his resignation. That's what we should have been getting, not from Miss Naomi Jeremiah. Poor Miss Jeremiah. I feel it for you, darling. Love you. I feel sorry for you. But that should have been coming from the minister along with his resignation for incompetence. Acute incompetence. But instead of that, get the public servant to do it. Yeah? Not a single apology. None. Yeah? My goodness. Folks, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, 440-7377. Yeah, that's the number. Yeah, let me touch a little something.
NDC administration failed in the first term, and they're begging for another one. Sing for them. Sing for them. They're going in the wrong way. Mash up NDC.
Angel, good night to you. I seen you Monday.
Not run this country.
I just letting you know. I seen you Monday. Eh? Nice.
Don't listen. They're going in the wrong way. So they divided into.
Yeah, it's going to be a long week, so I have to pass Monday.
So many things they promise they go do. They say $700 not enough money. They go give 1,000 to them in money.
Let me say a good night to you, Lyndon George. Good night to you, bro. I know you're out there in Canada, locked in.
One some NDC.
Miss Dan Gibbs, good night, yo.
Run this country. They say the leader don't listen.
Mommy George, good night to you. Martin, good night, bro.
I hear they say that they
Good night to your wife as well. I spot all the other day somewhere, you know. Just trying to.
did that. 4 years now and things ain't getting better.
We've got a call online. Good night.
Yeah, Shalom, good evening, bro.
Good evening to you. I'm quite fine. You go right ahead.
Yeah, just like, I'm always thinking and processing things in my mind. And today, and I think it was on WeFM, I'm listening to the news here about our delegation over in Dubai, and, there was at the COP meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just saying, here is our Grenada delegation. I could very well imagine making presentations and representation about carbon footprint and CO2 emissions and things. And I had to chuckle. I said, but these people are flying so much. I mean, as government ministers and whoever else. And it is known that aircraft emits some of the worst, is responsible for some of the worst carbon emissions. So I'm saying is that kind of like hypocritical of these people going in the summit or conference, whatever, and going and expound on climate change and global warming, and they, in a sense, are contributing to it. I mean, more directly than many other people, because I don't think I dare say I don't think there may be any other Caribbean country that government ministers fly travel as much as our government here. And so I was
St. Lucia kind of tying with us on that one.
Oh, well, birds of a feather,
Remember,
imagine.
Birds of a feather flock together,
Yes,
so St. Lucia
okay.
kind of tying with us on that one.
Yes, I was just musing, and I said, but look at that. I mean, it's not anything wrong going and talk climate change, but I mean, they amongst the people that carrying their delegation, the frequency of their flying and all that, they are equally guilty, and they should be ashamed to go there really and expound on something that they, in a sense, as I say, contributing to. Just for what it's worth, I'm just saying that. Okay?
Of course.
Okay, bro.
And my bro, hello? Hello? He's gone. Yeah, what I'd say is this though. I thought COVID taught us that we could have done a lot of these things over the internet. I thought that COVID taught us that we didn't have to spend maybe as much as $40,000 per person to go to these meetings and so on, when they can stay in a room in Grenada and come in via Zoom or come in via some other platform electronically and still be able to do what they've got to do in their home country. Yeah? So here it is, you have climate change conference, but yet everybody's spending so much money on flights to go to the climate change, even if you have to send a delegation. Do you have to send a delegation of over 30 people? Do you have to send, come on. Over 30 people. Because remember, this is the same people. Remember the nonsense that's taking place here. These are the same people in the budget presentation next week coming to tell you that they put colored bins at different locations around the country. My friends, hang around. Tell me if you've seen 3 different vans come and collect. Go to Perseverance or Dumfries in Carriacou. I don't know if that the colored bins up there. I haven't been to home in Carriacou for a while. Go and find out if they have specific areas where they are sorting this garbage so that organic is going one way and recyclable waste is going another way. Because again, remember I told you all, it's just window dressing. It's to be able to say something. So go and put a set of humps in an area for people to slow down, and when you put the humps there, half the hillside come down. Could kill people. Yeah? Because they want to be able to say something. That they're they want to go in budget to be able to say things next week, Go and say up a cycle bin. Dotish. Go and say it. Put colored bins. Are there any specific? Because if you put colored bins, what is supposed to happen? You're supposed to have one van or a special van, special waste disposal vehicles that can take the various types of recyclable material. So that you have one vehicle, so you put in that, you press a button, it changes to the next section, you put in the other type, you press a button, you put in the other type. But no, they want to be able to say, we put colored bins in the town of St. George. No public awareness campaign. So people don't know what is for what because they're just seeing bins. No public awareness campaign. No strategy of how you're going to address the issue of the recyclable material at the dump site. So the material goes up to Perseverance, and the material, even if it was being separated within the town and the south of the island, which it is definitely not, people just throwing anything inside them thing. If it was being separated, when it go up there, it being junked together anyway. So it's a total waste of time. Go and talk about your colored bins now. Go and tell people. Stupidness. Yeah? That's the kind of thing we're supposed to be accepting. Yeah? And somebody saying now the AG knows about the document that they signed. Well, we want to know if the Attorney General, the legal consultant to government, we want to know if the Attorney General knows about that document. Because as I said, her voice was out there. She was most vociferous. She was on radio. She was on television. She was on the internet. She was in public meetings. She was in private meetings. She was all over the place, locally, regionally, internationally, speaking about the issue of the possibility that Grenada's constitutional change will allow for same-sex marriage here in Grenada. That same Attorney General that we have now named Claudette Joseph. Take me to court if what I say is untrue, because Grenadians know I ain't lying. Take me to court if what I'm saying is untrue, Claudette Joseph. You was the one that sat in the meeting and know for a fact that that was not what we were attempting to do. Because you sat next to me in the meeting when we ensured that the sections that may have had a complication that would have allowed that was struck out. Dr. Francis Alexis sit down and he take his marker and he just started to scratch out. Because I was the one that raised the issue in that meeting. But yet still, you left that meeting and you came out and you say, good attack point, boy. Let me run with that. So they attack the constitutional reform process. They attack it on that angle. And you had many church leaders who fell in line with them with it. and they started to parrot what the then Attorney General was saying. But the Attorney General quiet right now. Claudette, where you quiet now? Where the churches that had all to say about that then? What happened? Some of them busy because the feel get it right now. They had the marriage license. So they had the marriage license right now. So they're hoping that that happens. So that they could go down in different locations and they could marry these couples, innit? Are they happy now? Yeah? Because finally the laws in Grenada would allow that. As people are telling me last year and earlier this year that there are same-sex couples being married in Grenada. I said to them, I don't believe it because it is not recognized under our law. So there's no way they'd be able to be married in Grenada and it is legal. They get a document that says so because our laws don't recognize it. That's why I had my concerns in relation to it, and I don't believe that it was true. But now I'm beginning to reconsider. Maybe it was happening under the radar. Yeah? Don't worry, I see my solution friend there. Don't worry, man. Prime Minister here and there is bim and bam. One is bim and one is bam bam. I know which is which. But anyhow, 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. 440-7377. And for those of you in the North America, whether you're in Canada or whichever part of the US, you can call us. It's like a local call. 347-329-3101. That's 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of our program. Yeah? I mean, we look and we have seen the things that these people have done over the past 18 or 19 months. We've seen what they have done. And we've also seen what they have not done. Yeah? Because what they have not done is improve healthcare. They have allowed healthcare to go down. They've allowed that. They have allowed a situation right now where the frustration on nurses are showing. Where the frustration that doctors are showing. We have a caller online. Good night.
Sheldon.
Yeah.
As it relates to this budget issue again, with these $200 we're hearing that would be given back to the persons. Based on what I understand, it's the elderly and the...
Hold on, caller. Let me go down the road on that issue.
Okay, all right.
And here's why. Here's why. This government does something. Don't hang up, eh? This government does something from time to time. They float things out there to watch the response of us. So they would leak information that, hey, this might be an intention. And then when people like me and others start to speak about it, they take what we say and that's what they do instead. Let them go and announce what they have to announce Monday and let Dr. Mitchell expose what they're really doing during next week. I ain't going down and think about it. You could continue with your question, eh? But just saying that I personally will... No, you continue.
Let me just say, Sheldon, if the giving of the $200 is true and is in the budget, I just want to say kudos to you and all the other persons who host program and pound them left, right, and center as it relates to the 150 that was taken from the people. Because from day one, you, Mr. P, BJ, Royalty, Jenny, everybody, they pound them left, right, and center. So I am saying kudos to you all. If we just take it as a pinch of salt and didn't say anything about it, who knows? It would not have come back. So congratulations. And I am saying continue to pong them. Continue to pong them.
Let me say hold on the congratulations. Let me hear what's coming Monday, because I told you sometimes they leak certain things and they say certain things, and then when the day comes you hear something totally different. Remember, the president, I'm going to say former because maybe my brain done reach somewhere already. But the minister in the Senate, said that how they were leaving that money, Remember, Gloria?
Yes.
Gloria say that they not removing the money, that the money would stay there, right? Remember, she said that. But then what happened after? We hear that they was leaving it. Now we hear they putting it back. Let us hear what they say. Not only let us hear what they say, no. We ain't trust their words because they just lie. Because Gloria never come and say she's sorry for lying to the Grenadian people that they leaving the 150. Yeah? She never come and say she's sorry for lying. She come and try to blame NNP. Again, big man behavior and big woman behavior versus children behavior, and a lady like that supposed to be elder enough to understand, to come and say to the Grenadian people, hey, I lie, I'm sorry. You understand? But instead of doing that, she thinks, so let's hear what they have to say Monday. And then you go hear what Dr. Mitchell says. Yeah, I ain't going down.
And for the state and for the statement you was making, you're sure right, because in the not too distant future, they will be farmer. Good night.
Well, I see a minister, they sent out a note saying a minister, where is it? I see something, somebody sent it to me, somebody. I saw something with that same minister, Gloria Thomas, out of office till next year, is it? Yeah, I think it's until next year. I'm wondering what's going on. I hope she's okay, though. We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sarah.
Hi, good night.
Yes, the lady talk about they put in $200 back on the SHIP program, but it's not everybody that's getting it. Because my grandchildren, they are in the SHIP program. Last week, Friday, I went to collect the money for them. And when I go, my name was taken off.
Have you all been given a reason why your name was removed? Why the names were removed?
No, they never gave me no reason.
So you just go and it's not there?
When I talked to the lady, and I said, well, I will take them children's name. Could I apply for myself? I said, because I'm over 60. She said, not because you're over 60, don't think you could get it. But just tell her thank you, and I will get to work as well.
So let me ask some questions here that a sensible person would ask. Were the children recently, the people who taking care of the children, did they win the lotto? They win a 800,000 some way? They win a big money, so they're no longer financially unstable?
No.
Did some family member leave a couple million for them in the will or some kind of thing like that? Or are the children now over the age of 18 and they have big work?
I don't know this one.
No, asking you if the children are now over the age of 18, they finish school and they have big work. Because I can't understand how it is that you just take the children name off of the list. Something definitely has to be wrong with that. Call up, pay attention to the phone line, not the radio. Come on. Speak to me on the phone. Speak to me on the phone. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Speak to me on the phone. Don't listen. Turn off the volume in the background there.
The children not over the age of 18. Nobody doesn't being a lot to. They just took it out.
Well,
and the thing is, I'm working on this people to the thing.
You're being thrown off by the voice in the background.
I'm working in the World War thing, and they're sending us some mountain.
You see?
So that's another problem again.
Oh boy. My friend, people like yourself need to speak out more. So on one end, the takeout from on one end, and now they're taking out on the other end as well. How they expect you all to survive? How they expect you all to survive? Oh boy. All right, caller. Thank you so very much, my dear. Keep in contact with me. All right? Keep in contact. Make sure you keep in contact. All right. So as I said, I hope the minister is okay, because I saw something coming out either yesterday or so that the senator is out either until next year or something like that. I think it's until next year. Yeah, I want to know. See the senator, so I'm hoping that she is okay, because there's only one circumstance I believe that somebody could be out like that for that period of time, and it's medical. So I'm hoping that she's okay. And if she's not, then our prayers are with her. She's a fellow Grenadian. So our prayers are with her, and we hope that everything works out okay and that she gets well if she is not well. All right? If there's any other thing, we want answers. All right? Especially with what we're hearing going to take place on Monday. We want answers. All right? Okay. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. I'd like to congratulate all of you that supported all of the activities today. Those that supported the barbecue in St. David, those of you that supported the Northwest, St. George Northwest activity, those of you will be supporting the St. John constituency branch in the morning with their barbecue. They start at 11, they have barbecue and luncheon. So you could get lunch, you could get barbecue. That's close to the community center there in Grand Roy. Nice, yeah, you could get your lunch, you could get your barbecue. That's PD4 of the St. John New National Party constituency group. They're having that activity. I know Flavor King, together with the St. George Southeast Women's Group, they are having that barbecue sale taking place tomorrow. Sean, I'm waiting on the time. Yeah, Sean, time. I'm not seeing the time, brother. All right? Yeah, I need to see the time. All right? So I could know how to handle it. You understand? Nice. Yeah, we want to see the time. Good. Yeah. Want to see the time, brother. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. It's now 27 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. By the time you hear that, it may be slightly about a minute off, according to how you come on. Yeah, so it's 9:27 right now. All right, so it means we roughly have a half hour remaining. Yeah, but that's the situation. Remember, we didn't hear an apology for this. This statement was made last year. Did you hear an apology in relation to?
My government has decided to continue the vertical expansion of seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that family will continue to receive the additional $150 per household.
Yeah, just remember the minister said that, and we know what happened the following month. The following payments. That 150 was removed. People go expecting the 150 because it does be when you come out from Christmas. You come out from Christmas, most people they come out kind of broke because you get paid a little earlier than normal. And that paid a little earlier than normal, some police officers and other public officers asking how that half payment working out with them, with usually in December you have the early payment, and so is it a case that they're going to have half the amount of money they usually have for the Christmas season? There are questions being asked. But remember, the minister told you all this, she lied.
To end in December of this year. This therefore means that family will continue to receive the additional $150 per household.
And families did not continue to receive the additional $150 per household. It was taken away from them. And in fact, in some cases, not only was the 150 taken away, everything was taken away. And you just heard another instance of that from the lady that called. Another instance of that. Some people say I should have put up the video. I should have put up the video for all to see her. Okay, not tonight. Not tonight, Papa? We go do that on Monday. Yeah, maybe Monday or Tuesday or so we go do that. All right? And we in holding pattern because we want to hear. We want to hear if they're changing the date from when our, we want to hear if they're changing the date for when the presentation by the leader of His Majesty's opposition is going to take place, because them. They might know that he have a court case on a particular day, or he had to travel on a particular day, and they might try to say that is the day he had to speak on, because they're afraid. They're afraid. The same way they're wicked, they're afraid. Yeah? All they can do is strike coward blow. So you have to be careful because of the strike coward blow. So right now, it seems as though the possibility is that they will want to change the day that leader of His Majesty's opposition has to speak. That is after many people have organized and say, that is the day I want to go, So they asked the boss already for the day off next week on that day so that they'll be able to go. Yeah, those who are working, because a lot of people ain't working, but those that are working and so on, and many others who decided that's the day we want to go because that's the day Dr. Mitchell speaking. We want to hear what Dr. Mitchell say. Forget the budget speech itself. The real budget speech is when Dr. Mitchell speaking, because then he will take the time to explain to us all that they think they're hiding, all that they're misleading, all the obfuscation, and the attempt to create the jackayan, or as I just call it, the chun-chun. The attempt to create the jackayan, so that when the next government comes in office, boom. That's what they're doing. Yeah? Again, remember I keep telling you all that this government is hell-bent on expanding the tax base. Note what I'm saying. I honestly don't believe that they're going to go into Parliament at this time and increase taxes by significant margins anyway, if they do increase. I think they might. I don't think. Let's see what happens on Monday. I know that there was an expectation that they were going to do that in relation to housing, to property tax. But again, I'm going to open my big mouth and they change that. I can't talk about that. I'm going to change it. Yes, so people in the Ministry of Finance tell me. I'm telling all what the people in the ministry say. That when I talk about it and people realize that property tax about to go up because they've been revalued, that you all change your mind and say, no, we was never going and do that. All you lie. All you was going and raise property tax on people. So the new approach is to expand the tax base. Okay, we'll put it this way. You have 10 people paying $10 a month. But you need to make more money on a monthly basis instead of that. So instead of having 10 people paying $10 a month, you have two options. You could make the 10 people pay $15 a month, or you can drag in 20 people to pay $10 a month. They have decided to go the route of, instead of increasing the amount that the 10 have to pay, to drag more people to the level that they have to pay. So when you hear them speaking about regularizing people in River Road and so on, it is because they want to bring these people into the taxable bracket. These people, if you are squatting, you're not paying property tax right now. Which squatter paying property tax? You can't, because you don't have ownership of the property that you're on. So they want to ensure now that they regularize you, which is going to be a contentious issue because people squatting. So boundaries and things are kind of issue. But anyhow, good luck with that one. But they intend to expand the number of people paying property tax. So the overall figure that they are going to be collecting on a yearly basis will automatically increase. So I understand where they're going with it. So it is not that they're going to necessarily increase the property tax that you pay, but they're going to bring more people in so that more people are paying and increase the amount that they collect on a yearly basis. It's the same thing that they're trying to do right now with the hairdressers and the barbers. Yeah? You could increase taxes somewhere else, or you could make more people pay. So what they are doing is that they are trying to get the barbers and the hairdressers and all the people under allied healthcare, as they put them, to come and need certification and registration, and you have to be your insurance that doesn't exist, and all these kind of things they're trying to tell the people. A whole mess that they right now. But they don't want to talk about that, and they're not apologizing for that. But it's a whole mess that day. You're telling people about being certified and so you have nobody to go and certify them. Let me say that again because maybe somebody didn't know. They're telling people about get certified and they had nobody to go and certify these people. That is what's going on. These same people, folks, remember to like and share. Yeah, all looking good day, but like and share. Nice? Let me see all the like and share. Nice. Yeah. These are the same people. So what they're doing is expand, try and make more money off of more Grenadians. And then, when it has gotten to the limit, when there is just so much that they can expand the tax base, after they've gotten to that level, then they have no other option. They're going to start to go up with the taxes. So when you raise salaries to this level and you do that to this level and you bring in people here and you do all these kind of things, after a period of time, it becomes untenable, you know. When I tell you they're setting up a chun-chun for the incoming government, that's what they're doing. They're setting up a jackayan for the incoming government. Because they know that this thing has a limit, and when it gets to that limit, because they cannot depend on the revenue coming in from CBI, because they cannot depend on revenue coming from other areas, because tourism is an iffy area, as COVID taught us, one hurricane and forget tourism as a means of bringing in income. Because of these things, they know that what they're doing is untenable, but they're doing it still. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Not too bad, Mr. Scott. I'm trying to get things going right where I want to go.
Yeah, man.
But Mr. Scott, what I want to talk about you tonight, I want to find out when the paper that it came out the last time when Dr. Mitchell had this referendum.
Mm-hmm.
I want a copy of this document because some people telling me there were homosexuality in that document.
Nowhere in that document had that. Anybody
so
telling you that is...
I don't know if you would like to post the document on my phone for me. Or chat, because we have a group chat.
Yeah.
The NMP group chat. You
I can find that. I can find the document and post it there, and I can tell you off the top of my head that is totally false. It is totally untrue. Nowhere, at no time in that document was the issue of same-sex being considered to be brought to the Grenadian people. There were, in the initial document, there were some areas that I myself had flagged because I was part of the committee. And Dr. Francis Alexis can bear me out on this, and the other members of the committee. Mr. Simon Steele, who is now at the UN, and different people can bear me out on this. There are some areas that I flagged in the original thing that, if you are looking at it, would have been considered as allowing a same-sex marriage and so on, because of the including the word gender and how it was included and so on. Mm-hmm. Those sections were struck out, never made it to Parliament or never made it to the referendum itself. Those sections were struck out. What was being pushed by Miss Claudette Joseph at the point in time and others was simply for political mischief. There was no intent to legalize same-sex marriage here in Grenada. That was not what the referendum was about. And in fact, because of that, they ended up having to spend an additional 5 years in opposition, because they had the opportunity to have an opposition leader automatically. No matter if they win a seat or not, they were getting to have an opposition leader and different things like that. They would not have had to face Dr. Mitchell in another general election because he was on his second term at that point in time. Well, so he would not have been able to run again. Yeah? So there were several things that they gave up just to attack the referendum itself.
I know that because you had human rights as well, child rights, and then one coming and stuff like that. But the point I'm making, Mr. Scott, what I want to say tonight, I can imagine. Well, we have a rough time. I'll have a rough time with my co-workers. Because every time we talk about this homosexuality, what this government go and sign this document, they get offended and saying you can't change that. Well, we know that we can't change that. But one thing I know, that the Almighty could change it. And the Almighty could bring a wrath upon this nation. And what amazed me as much, brother, Mr. Scott, to see the churches go silent. I am a member in the faith. I also go to evangelical church. And just Sunday gone, I was talking to my pastor and said, look, when a little girl break up, she bring the talk up that you still have your banner in your hand, you come into church and stuff like that, and you're following NNP. I say, well, I'm a strong NNP, I ain't giving. And the child say, well, NNP might come back in power, and the pastor say, no. You don't look so. But what amazed me, none of them is talking about this homosexuality.
But
none of them is saying, look, what this man did, go and sign this document, is wrong. And he's amazed. Even I have brothers at the workplace, and I'm afraid to say it. When you confront them, one man has said, okay, look, they will see what's going to happen in the end. But the others not saying nothing. And it amazed me to see all people as who claim Christian, even the Prime Minister even said, church and state don't go hand in hand no more. Eh? It amazed me to see what these people who call themselves Christian, and I heard a lady say that today, we claim to be Christian people. And what are we doing about the situation? God destroy a city for these things. And yet we condole in these things now. Because we support our government or we support our party.
My view on this is if you have to do something to that level, because Grenadians hold extremely strong views in relation to this, and you may very well find that different age groups hold specific views in relation to that issue, is that the issue should be put before the Grenadian people, and that government cannot arbitrarily make a decision on behalf of the Grenadian people. This is what we're doing. They say this is where we're going, and we agree. That is slavery. That is still the colonial mentality of, because remember, the same countries that telling us that we brutal and that we uncivilized to have laws against these things. Those laws are based on the laws that they gave us. Those laws are based on the constitution that they helped us craft. They are the same ones that helped us put these laws in place.
That's correct.
The same people that tell us, no, don't beat your children and don't flog your children and so on in the Caribbean, are the same people that used to flog slaves and then come down here and used to have school system and flog us, that had legal system that flog people in the prison system, are the same people that call us now uncivilized and brutal because we have some of the same thing on the law books. Even though I don't know the last time I hear anybody get so much strokes in prison and so in Grenada, it might still be on the law books, but these people call us uncivilized because of that. They say we uncivilized because technically on our books, we still have things like, for instance, hanging is still on our books. We didn't just get up and decide we're doing that. We got that from them. So for these people to play the moral guiding light of the world is hypocritical.
But we still govern by our constitution. This constitution is not to say is no longer in place. It's there.
And one point I want to make again on the Constitution, because I wanted to sink at home, that the Constitution does not, let me say it again, does not need to go to a referendum to make certain types of changes.
That's correct.
So there are minor changes and there are major changes. For a
That's
major
correct.
change that basically gives a new light to an entire section, that major change would have to go to a referendum. So it would have to first pass through Parliament, where it gets the 2/3 majority to vote to have the referendum on it. That bill has to pass there, and then it goes to a referendum. For minor changes, just to change a word or something here or there, minor changes to the Constitution, which may be seen as a correction of something with the Constitution, those changes can be done at the Parliament level and never go to a referendum. So for idiots to be calling the radio station and trying to lie and bamboozle the Grenadian people about, listen, when St. Lucia, because I know I have my St. Lucians on, so I have to refer to them every now and again. When St. Lucia went to the CCJ, they refused to go to a referendum, you know.
Yes.
The current ruling party in St. Lucia has 11 of they have 15, sorry, the 17 seats, 15 of the 17 seats in the parliament over there. They say no referendum, we have 2/3 majority, they just pass it.
Yeah.
They just pass it. You know? So we have to understand, to remember, birds of a feather flock together. So certain things you're seeing there, you may very well expect to see here. The Prime Minister has already said that he doesn't believe that referendums work. Yeah, he's on record saying that, eh?
But yeah, because
speaking
you don't know
about referendums. Yes, so let's see what comes up.
He wants to do his own thing, and that's his agenda. His agenda to do what he wants, rather than go to a constitution or go to a referendum, or you come to the people. You decide you're going to do his own thing. That is why he says church and state not hand in hand. But he went and light candle and all kind of different things for Bishop and him. Understand? But don't worry, God ain't sleeping. He's taking notes and he's recording. The time will come when he will put the wrath of God up, when he will put the wrath upon us. Have a good night, brother.
All right, my brother. Yeah, and you know the thing is, there are people like, for instance, Mr. Azam Rahman. Yeah, I'm calling on people like Mr. Azam Rahman to hear what he has to say and what does the Muslim community have to say about the signing of the Samoa Agreement. Are they saying that they should remain quiet in relation to this particular issue? Is this something that Islam allows right now? Asking you, Mr. Rahman, because you are Assistant General Secretary, something on the NDC executive. Yeah? And you're also one of the most senior figures in relation to the Islamic religion here in Grenada, of which there are literally hundreds of members. Yeah? So I'm asking you, Mr. Rahman, what do you have to say in relation to the legalization of same-sex marriage and what is presently unlawful connection here in Grenada between people of the same sex? What do you have to say in relation to that? Is your government that day? No, don't say it in private. The same way Ali was talking in public in relation to certain things before election to get a particular vote going a particular way. Mr. Rahman, speak out on that. Let's hear what you have to say. Yeah? Let's hear what the Islamic community in our country has to say. Yeah, Palestine, nice, right. We live in here. We want to hear what you have to say in relation to this issue. Right? Palestine, give back the Israelis, the people. Don't give back all your own. And then try to live together. That's all we could say in relation to that. But we here right now, you here right now, and this is taking place, Mr. Rahman. What you want to say? And I ain't talking about the one that in the Senate, you know, yeah, you low level compared to the others. Let me hear. Because they was making all sort of noise before. Yeah? So the same people saying all kind of things out there. But right now, they're quiet. Pastor Stanford Simon, you have anything to say about this issue or you agree with it? You have no problem with it? Pastor Stevenson Worm, you have a problem with this or you okay with same-sex marriage? Are you willing? And people, all of you, when you all go to your church on Sunday, ask your pastor this question directly. Make him put his hand on the Bible and answer. Although some of them so wicked, they will actually put their hand on the Bible and lie. Let them put their hand on the Bible and answer. If same-sex marriage is legalized in Grenada, are they willing to conduct the wedding ceremony? Let me tell you again what to ask your pastor. Everybody that going to church today, tomorrow, Sunday, whenever you go to church, even if you ain't going, find your pastor or your religious leader and ask them, if same-sex marriage is legalized in the state of Grenada, in line with what was signed for in the Samoa Agreement, are they willing to marry same-sex couples? That will tell you all you need to know. Don't let them give you any answer except yes or no. Don't wait for them to give you no long drawn-out thing and by the time you leave, you don't know if they answer yet because they quote this part of the Bible. You don't want to hear that. A simple yes or no will do. Yeah? One of the bad things I've always found with churches is it doesn't have an answer and response section. It'll just be a pastor come and he preach and pastor give the word and after he give the word he say what you have to say and thing. Then everybody get up, they hug, they kiss, they shake hand and they go home. No. You should be able to ask questions too. That's how I find. I'm always radical. That's how I find it. If I find pastor say something and I ain't to agree, even if I don't get that chance to say it while he do anything, should get to ask him afterwards. I don't agree with that. Pastor, I don't believe that. Yeah? Instead of just having to take that. No. Yeah? So we should be able to ask them, will you? And in fact, without even asking, because I know many of you listen to this program, because many of you just have my name in all your mouth like toothpaste in the morning. Like if all you is the gatekeepers to heaven, all you no gatekeepers to heaven, all you human beings and fallible just as anybody else. All you. None of all you ain't making nobody go to heaven. None of all you. So all you could call my name as much as all you want and say as much as all you want about me. I don't care. Me is the least of the apostles. Me ain't care. Because see with me, I know who the Most High is. I don't have to depend on nobody. Right? I understand. So I'm saying, even without the congregation or members of the congregation having to come to you and ask you that question, you all should come out and say straight up whether or not, because some of them only studying the money, you know. Some of them only studying the money. Some of them only studying what coming in the collection plate. Some of them only studying that aspect of it. And there's not an attack on the church. This is speaking the reality of what is taking place in our country right now. Some of them only studying the collection plate. Yeah? Some of them studying, boy, might get married one of them couple and I might give you $2,000 for the ceremony. You never know. We have a caller online. Good night. Hello? Hello? Okay, seems we have lost that one. Yeah, 440-7377. That's the number. We have roughly about 9 minutes remaining on tonight's program. Yeah, no, we want to know. Ask your pastor. Ask them. Hear their response. And again, no long-winded response and after 5-10 minutes you still don't know whether they go do it or not. No. A simple yes or no. It have no gray areas about maybe. Maybe is yes. Maybe is not no. Maybe means that you're giving consideration so that somewhere within the theoretical way that you're thinking, that you believe there's a little leeway somewhere there that there's a possibility that you can go ahead and do it. So maybe means you will, as far as I'm concerned. So it's either yes or no, because all you're staying quiet now. All kind of pastors who was going up on platform and talking about, oh, the NNP had to go, and who was calling who wicked, and who was saying who of the devil, and all kind of thing. I ain't all there right now. All I get very silent. What happened? Devil got your tongue? Yeah, I'm a human being just as you. So I could call all you out. Nothing special about all you. Just pastors. Yeah? Cat caught your tongue? Devil caught your tongue? Me ain't all you. Come out and talk. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Nothing saying. Yeah? Well, forget civil society. If it's not Cassandra Mitchell, like it, I know civil society outside of she right now, because that's the only person I hear talking. Which is why I continue to say, and I'll continue to make the point, that here in Grenada, there are certain people whose career of advocacy has ended. Sandra Ferguson cannot come under NNP government and say anything. She cannot. Yeah? Nobody is supposed to listen to anything she has to say because it seems as though she pen dry up. Yeah? And she lose she voice. Because all of a sudden, we the people doesn't appear in newspapers again. We the people doesn't exist again. So we the people can write articles about a prime minister and a minister of foreign affairs openly lying to the people of Grenada that agreement wouldn't be signed and the agreement was signed. Yeah, Alban? Albon? Yeah. All of a sudden they quiet on that. We the people here have no voice again, Sandra. All you hypocrite. All you hypocrite. The only person standing up and talk is Cassandra Mitchell. I had to give Jackie Jacket and John Blouse. That's the only person that I see writing and still talking about different issues, and I don't agree with them all the time. Let me state that openly. I do not agree with them all the time with their position or their stance in relation to different things. But as the only person that you could call civil society that's speaking there right now. Everybody else get quiet. Friends of the earth becomes friends of the dirt, or maybe the friends of the NDC because you don't hear them. Them gone, forget them. Yeah? Citizens Against this, you don't hear them. All of these different organizations, they gone on mute. The government of Grenada paid $22 million to a company that is accused of funding the election campaign when that company only paid 19 million EC into the Grenadian, into that project in Grenada, and there was an active court case that the government could have won. They discontinued the court case, and that company was paid 22 million US. And the people who were on the committees in relation to that, included on the board of directors of Grenada CBI, is an employee of the company that received 22 million US. On the committee that made the decision, you had an individual whose company was employed by the same company that he helped make the decision to give 22 million US. Had that happened under a new National Party administration, you would have seen placard in town. Every time you'd hear the Jude Bernard and all of them other bunch of hypocrite calling radio programs and have all kind of thing to say. All you have no moral compass or authority to speak on any issue in this country again. None. All you need to continually shut up. No moral authority to speak on anything. Unless you all come and speak on these issues. Whether you agree or disagree, whatever, at least speak on the issues. But until and that said time, you all have no moral authority. Don't come, because NNP will return to office sooner rather than later. Let me say that again. Sooner rather than later. And when that happens, all you try and open all your mouth, see if the Grenadian people don't shut all you up. Go ahead. Take 10 people and go and march in town, see if we don't bring 10,000. Yeah? Try and talk. No moral authority. Hypocrite. All you. Whether it's Sandra Ferguson or Jude Bernard or Ray Roberts, all of them, a bunch of hypocrite. Calling it as it is. All your party in power, so all you go and quiet right now. Hypocrite. But then, we knew that before. So, it is not amazing or surprising to any of us. We knew what you all were. Some people refused to accept it. But we thank you all for confirming in the minds of Grenadians exactly what you all are. Hypocrites. Yeah? Because it seems that the wrong is only wrong when one political party is in power. But when another political party is in power, what wrong seems to have been blessed by the Most High and is suddenly right. Yeah? So it's like when the fella eating pork, he's not supposed to eat pork, they see him eating pork. Say, boy, you eating pork, but I thought that was against you. He said, nah, man. Say, I bless that. That's chicken now, man. That's chicken, I know pork. I bless that. Change from pork to chicken now. Yeah? So it's the same thing with them and wrong and right. They had nothing to say. And they can't tell me that they can't say. I seen them. Don't give me this thing about who's sick and who this and that. Lies. Lies. They can still talk. They just refuse to talk. So don't go give me this thing about who this and who's. No. Nonsense. Yeah? So all who want to remain quiet right now and feel that issues go blow over, as long as the good Lord gives me health and strength, no issue in blowing over. Yeah? I will continue to raise each and every one of them at every opportunity that I get. And I know that it's not me alone. Yeah? So there are many of us that will continue to raise these issues as they come forward and provide the facts. We ain't providing things that we think is a rumor. No, we're providing the facts in relation to these things. So when I speak about Kimpton and I say what I say, I am saying that there's some fishy business taking place there. And we want to know right now who are the lawyers involved in what is taking place there. We want to know about the possibility of the $50-something million plus that would have to be paid to the shareholders there. Outside of the 22 million US that has already been paid, the 52 or 56 million US that would have to be paid to the people that are the shareholders that have bought into that. All you ain't talking about that in it. So all you feel that people like me go forget that? No, I ain't forgetting it. I'm talking about it. Questions should be answered. When people ask questions in Parliament, all you're giving all kind of nonsensical responses and refusing outright to answer certain questions. Because why? All you're big and all you're bad. But all you're in look at children body with look at children behavior and look at children mindset. Yeah? Anyway, folks, that's all the time for Talking Points tonight and this week, our first program for the month of December. It's been wonderful being here with you. I'm going to chance you, reach home. It's been wonderful being here with you. In whatever you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. You know we love each and every one of you folks. And on Monday, remember Monday is their budget day, but the real budget So far, it's supposed to be on Wednesday, but we know the machinations and the trickery. So there seems to be an attempt right now to get them to change the day when Dr. Mitchell's supposed to talk and all kind of, you know, they're always trying some kind of strategy there because they're afraid Dr. Mitchell. They're afraid the NNP team. They're afraid when Emlyn take the mic and Peter take the mic and Clarice take the mic and Skeeter take the mic. They're afraid. So they're trying all sorts of things. So right now we're hearing it may change from Wednesday to Thursday. I would like to hear the reasoning behind that. I would like to hear what is more important than having your budget response and your budget debate taking place for the budget of the country to be passed before the 31st of December, because you have to have a Senate sitting, which definitely going to have to take place week after. I want to know what is so important that you have to be shifting things around right now, outside of political expediency, or maybe the Prime Minister want them to go in Dubai again, because you know right now there's where cabinet meetings taking place. Folks, watch, let me come out of here. That's all the time we have for Talking Points. Love you all.
The NDC administration failed in the first term, and they're begging for another one. Sing for them, sing for them. They go in the wrong way. Mash up NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. The leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divided into. They lie for the people. So many things they promise they go do. They say $700 not enough money. They go give 1,000 to them money. Soon as they get in power, the money program over. They go in the wrong way. One term NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. They say the leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divided into. I hear they say that they love the culture. The worst carnival we had in Grenada. 4 years now and things ain't getting better. And they keep pointing finger at one another. Carnival come and carnival go. Problems to pay price money, you know. They go in the wrong way. Mash up NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run the country. They go in the wrong way. They say the leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divided into. Fighting for so they go in the wrong way. Remind us of the rebel. They go in the wrong way. Behaving too ignorant. They go in the wrong way. And they suspend parliament. Unemployment very high in this country. NDC send back the CCC. Teachers and nurses ain't getting salary. No proper medical facilities. Crime is on the rise, you know. Young people killing more than before. Yellow. They go in the wrong way. One term NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. They say the leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divided into. They used to talk about corruption. That was only an illusion. The money they receive on their bank account. Explain it to us, they shut up their mouth. They stop this school feeding program like this government don't give a damn. Sing this song. They go in the wrong way. Mash up NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. They say the leader too harden. They go in the wrong way. So they divided into. They go in the wrong way. Change you want and change you get. They go in the wrong way. And do nothing for St. Patrick's yet. They go in the wrong way. Some people hungry. They go Uncle Tilly don't want Venezuelan money. They go in the wrong way. All what they say about Dr. Keith. They go in the wrong way. You getting salary on time and food to eat. They go in the wrong way. Jericho must be turning in the grave. They go in the wrong way. Telling the wind of change to begin. They go in the wrong way. Peace and scholar could tell you. They go in the wrong way. They fed up for true. They go in the wrong way. Don't mind persuade a tongue tie. Tell them bye-bye. They go in the wrong way. So when you're voting, use your brain. They go in the wrong way. Don't make that mistake and ball again. They go in the wrong way. NDC people saying it. They go in the wrong way. Uncle Tilly don't win in his seat. They go in the wrong way. Yellow. They go in the wrong way. Yellow. They go
So much people complaining about the government. I wonder why they complaining when it's only 1 year they spent. They come in and complain to me, which I find strange, because the election victory, majority voted for change. So then I start to wonder, what is some of them seen? Why complain to this fella when they know my color is green? It seems like they don't have patience. That's the reason why. Or something pricking the conscience they just cannot satisfy. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. 13 years we in power, you was in opposition. You won with your propaganda. I really thought you had a plan. You appeal to them old people, push promise in the head. If they only vote for you, pension will be 400. So much seniors they turn out to give you their support. Right now some of them hand to mouth because you lock the throat. $50 you increase, that's not what you promise. And if they have children overseas, you remove the name from the list. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. You looked at our youth program, you said it was not working. If they only give you a chance, you'll do some improving. You went out to them, Imani, and make them understand. If they vote for NDC, you giving them a grand. Now you from the government, you bring youth empowerment. All who were getting 700 right now, they're getting a cent. 7 months now they gone home, you leaving them to roam. It seems like the grand you promised them is grandchildren they bring it home. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Since after the election, supporters threatening me. They have a letter from Madman, go home immediately. So I tell my fans and my family not to worry about me. When they carry the letter, just take it easily. Don't call the radio station, don't preach victimization. Cause if you all know the Madman, this youth always have a plan. If you listen to my songs and what I just tell people, one door closer the Madman, another one will open.